Uh, Shooting some moves, so I gotta hurry up and get this out the way before I continue my day. Here we go. Look like uh look like James Harden is traded to the 76ers for Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, 2 first-round picks. I know Sham said something different. He said it was just for he said something different, but Adrian Wojnarowski saying that it's James Harden, 2 first-round picks or something like that. One of them is 2022 unprotected from Philadelphia going to Brooklyn. I don't know what the other first-round pick is. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Drummond going to Brooklyn. So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they really didn't have no other choice but to make this deal, because if they would have waited till the offseason and said, well, we ain't messing with Brooklyn and we going to sign them, then they would have had to move money. So then they would have to move Ben Simmons in the offseason, move him somewhere that can take his contract. So his contract is 33 and a third, something like that. 33.3 million, whatever it's gonna be next season. They'll take that salary and move it somewhere who got the cap space. There's only 3 teams coming to the trade deadline. That Detroit had 31 plus million in cap. Then I think Orlando had almost 30 million in cap. Then somebody else had around 30 million in cap. So it's only a couple places that had 25 and up or around 20 and up. So Detroit would have had to probably send a minor player back to make it work. And did they really want to go through all of that? You know what I'm saying? When you can give up Drummond, who got a 1-year deal, Seth Curry, I mean, you want to keep him. Doc Rivers said, he want to see his grandkids, stuff of that nature. That was the good thing about it. Speeding tick, couple first-round picks. You want James Harden. Now they can have the rights to James Harden. They can go into the threshold, or go into the luxury tax, and now it's James Harden, Joel Embiid in the playoffs, Tobias Harris. Not sure if they're gonna be able to move him anytime soon. And so they got the 1-2 punch plus Tobias Harris. Now, is there some holes on the team? Yeah, you lose shooting with Steph Curry. Then also Maxey and Harden do the same thing. So that's the thing about it. Maxey and Harden do the same thing. So you would love to keep Seth Curry next to James Harden. They can shoot, but like I said before, I mean, James gonna control the maestro. He gonna control the rock, and Joel Embiid gonna do his thing still. And they gonna form 1-2 punch. If you complain about living in Brooklyn, what you think about living in Philly? No offense to Philly. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Everything mushed in. But like I said, Brooklyn won this trade by far. You end up with Ben Simmons. You got the shooting to go along with Ben Simmons, with Kyrie Irving, Seth Curry, Joe Smith. I think he's still on the team. Kevin Durant. You also get a guy in the middle that, for when teams go bigger, they can anchor the middle, and Andre Drummond. I mean, they won easy. You got a first-round pick you could play with. I mean, Ben Simmons just got to get in shape. I'm not sure his vaccination status, but yeah, Ben Simmons get opportunity to go to Brooklyn, good city, not far from Philadelphia. You can see Philadelphia in the playoffs. You're gonna see him a few times a year. That's the bad thing about it, with the fans. But perfect backcourt, man, for Kyrie. Kyrie can continue to do what he do, play off the ball, play on the ball. Ben Simmons not playing with. One thing about Ben Simmons, what he do, what James Harden don't do, he takes somebody away. That's what he do. He takes somebody away defensively. James Harden, you didn't get that look. When James Harden, when he fumbled and when he didn't play well in the playoffs, when he was trash in the playoffs, he didn't play defense. He didn't do nothing else. He turned the ball over, forgot how to dribble, forgot how to shoot free throws. With Ben Simmons, one thing his defense don't turn off. They can run somebody off the screens, or they could take the ball. But one thing about Ben Simmons, off the ball, on the ball, when team defense come together, he's a guy that could take on somebody on the perimeter. Shout out to Ricky. What's going on, bro? He can, he could take somebody off the wing. This was Daryl Morey. The whole time knew he wanted James Harden. I wouldn't be surprised if allegedly there was some tampering there for James Harden. It wouldn't surprise me if it was some tampering there. He said, Scooby said, go Brooklyn. He said, my team. So like I said before, right then and there, to think about it is you get shooting with Ben Simmons. You get a guy in the middle for Ben Simmons. And then you get Ben Simmons. You get somebody that's going to lock down the perimeter. You can play him at the 3, play Durant at the 4, pay Kyrie at the 1. Ben going to be up point forward, play Seth at the 2. Seth is a more than capable defender. Make sure I hit the thumbs up button. He more willing and more capable defender than most. So one thing you're getting when Ben Simmons healthy, you're getting a ball handler, right? You're getting a guy that's going to play defense. And the only thing about it is He ain't a guy that's just gonna score and make shots. But then again, you space the floor. You space the floor. You space the floor with Durant, Kyrie, Seth, Ben, and Drummond, or Ben and Claxton could do what they want to do. So they can really play Durant at the line, at the top of the key, at the three or in the corner. Put Ben in the post. Have Ben cut on the back door, and that's fine. James Harden didn't give you much in the playoffs, no way. James Harden after the first round is trash. And all that drama James brought to get off the Rockets. Now he off the next. Yeah, he's just a prima donna, and everybody really need to apologize to Kevin Durant for being able to drag these dudes to the championship. Westbrook, y'all complain about Westbrook out west. Y'all complain about James Harden out east. But nobody said, damn, Kevin Durant took these jokers to the championship. When LeBron James, who they still consider the greatest player of all time, can't get Westbrook to the playoffs. They're in the play-in right now. So what Kevin Durant did was amazing, bro, taking all them jokers to the finals. Ibaka traded to Milwaukee today. Westbrook, they tried to trade him. Nobody want him. Who else you got? James Harden can't get it done in the playoffs. James Harden, Westbrook can't get it done in the playoffs. That's why Kevin Durant wanted to leave. And Kevin Durant shouldn't have had to articulate verbally. He let people show. I could say he is soft and all that, but he never threw James under the bus, and he never threw Russell under the bus. He said, you think Ben Simmons will like it Brooklyn if he didn't like it? It wasn't even that he didn't like it in Philly, bro. He didn't like they threw him under the bus in Philly. You don't do that. When a head coach and the star player Joel Embiid throw you up under the bus, that's what you don't like. And unlike a lot of people, he wasn't bluffing. He was not playing for Philadelphia. A lot of deals came back for their check. He didn't like it because if you ever played in the locker room, you never throw nobody under the table in press conferences, out in the public. Them is fighting words. You never say we lost because of this. We lost. Well, you know what? It was a couple plays before that we could have done better. When Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers, that's to show why Doc Rivers is not a great coach. Doc Rivers has been fortunate. He's fortunate enough to guide a super team to the championship. And Paul Pierce, Kyrie, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, all them. He was fortunate to get that team. Without that team, he don't win the championship. The Clippers, without Kawhi Leonard, advanced to the Western Conference Finals as soon as he left. You don't do that as a club. Have you seen Popovich throw Duncan, Robinson, any of them dudes under the bus? No. Do you see Phil do it? No. Maybe after he retired, he wrote a book about Kobe. You ain't see even Michael Jordan. He might have punched you in your face. Y'all might have scrapped. Bill Cartwright might have threatened to break his leg, but you never seen Michael Jordan. You never seen Mike throw somebody under the bus. Oh, we lost because Paxson turned off the ball, or we lost because Scotty had a migraine. No, maybe in documentaries, but in the here and now, you didn't hear Michael do stuff like when you throw people under the bus. A lot of y'all won't understand because y'all never played team sports. You don't throw somebody under the bus after the game. You didn't hear people throw Peyton under the bus, Tom under the bus, or Corey Dillon fumble. You didn't hear that. You just don't do it. People say, well, Ben Simmons soft. No, I don't want to share a locker room with snakes. Excuse me if everybody want to be fake and act like we buddy. He said, I didn't want to share the locker room when the head coach is a snake and the star player also a snake. Don't want to share the locker room. I didn't like the way Ben Simmons left that money on the table, but you know what? One thing you got to respect the Ben Simmons, he did not cave, he did not fold, he did not bend, he did not conform. He sat there and carried out the mission. Now we'll see what type of shape he is when he come back. Yeah, don't be surprised if James and Joel Embiid start having problems with the facts. James Harden choking the playoff just like Ben Simmons. Just give it some time. KD the truth. Yes, KD the truth. KD the truth. Tell the truth. He deserves a Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond after dealing with them two nut jobs. Say real talk, just the cold. It's the cold. You don't see KD throw Harden and Westbrook and look what he dealing with. It's a cold. It's a man cold. No matter what where you from or what your preferences is, it's a code that all men live by. There's certain things that you break. If you cheat on my wife, then you already know what gotta happen. You do certain things, you steal from a house, you already know what gotta happen. So be prepared. Ben Simmons not staying, he's going to California team. Why is he going to California team? Who said though Ben Simmons don't like it in Philadelphia? That's not why if Ben Simmons didn't like it in Philadelphia, he could have left that money right on the table where it's at. He could have left that extension right on the table where it's at and said, you know what, man, just trade me out to California or let's make it work. Ben Simmons could have traded that. If Ben Simmons didn't want to play in Philadelphia, Ben Simmons could have left Philadelphia right where they at. He could have not took the extension. So that's a lie. You believe in the media again. Remember the media said, oh, he going broke. He going broke. He going broke. I ain't see him coming back begging. Joel gonna hate Harden. Everybody see that coming, Jay. Harden lazy. Won't go well with Doc. Well, you see. He said, Scooby, okay, I understand where Ben was coming from. I hope he thrives and reaches his potential. I love James, but he's older, and I see this as a move for now, not the future. Well, they probably look at the future. Remember the GM, Daryl Morey, is homeboy. Greg Popovich threw Kawhi under the bus before he got traded. Well, he knew he was getting traded. He knew he asked for a trade. That's a totally different. Well, it's kind of different. He knew he didn't want to stay. Remember they had met at the cab. Remember that video of them at the restaurant eating and Popovich trying to convince him. He said, shit, I don't want to go. I don't want to stay. I don't want to sign an extension. I want to go to California. I want to go back home. We seen what happened. Ricky, right? It's always different. When you don't want to stay, you don't want to stay. 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 Sorry I left you crying. Since you've been gone, I've been all alone. If you don't know that song, man, you too young. Hey, Casey was blowing when he hit them high notes. So not Casey, but JoJo was blowing when he was hit them high notes in the song. Ben Simmons passed up a wide open leg. It is what it is. James Harden fumbled the ball. James Harden was bounced by a Kawhi Leonardless team playing for Game 7. They got bounced in Game 6, and after the game, James Harden was at the liquor store. Come on, which one worse? At least Ben Simmons felt some type of way, like, I messed up. I got to get better. This, that, and the third. James Harden showing his face, popping bottles at strip club. Every year he getting eliminated, he popping bottles. Hey, look, man, I deal with Ben Simmons passing up wide leg before I deal with James Harden, who don't bring nothing to the table in the playoffs. He don't stop nothing. He turned the ball over about the second round. At least I know Ben gonna play some defense. He might pass up a leg, but at least I know he gonna play a part. And that's why it was important to get Seth Curry in that name. Doc Rivers overrated. Facts. I hate to say it, brother overrated. Brian, so at least, oh damn, Philly got robbed. Joe did, but you had no choice. Marshall, they had no choice. Because if Brooklyn say, you know what, we're not going to do a sign and trade in the summer, then they have to go ship Ben Simmons off to a team and create that cap room. And that was going to be damn near impossible. Unless James Harden would have signed for the veteran minimum or the player exception and then did extension the next offseason. Who want to do that? James Harden not going to play $5-6 million. Now, the 76ers, one of the minority owners, he got something to do with lids and all that. Maybe they could have made that up with endorsements, but then again, that's probably against the NBA law, and they probably get suspended. So they had no other choice. Because then in the offseason, if Brooklyn was like, no, we just take the 40-something, 30-something million off the cap. Now Brooklyn has to clear whatever he wants. I heard it's $50 million. It's his last big contract. He believed. He's 32. $50 million a year. They got to clear $50 million. So that's Ben Simmons and most of Tobias Care contract. It's only 3 teams coming into the trade deadline who had the Pistons had the most of 30.1 million, maybe 25 and 24 million, 23 million. So who was going to have that cap space to take on 2 $60 million contract? Orlando, Detroit, and there was another team. Now, Indiana probably created some cap space now, but they had no choice. Brooklyn had them by the balls, honestly, bro. Especially equating in where Ben Simmons was out of shape too, so he's not a premium thing right now. His stock is down. Trey Bowman, salute. And that's got better. They did. Now Jeremy just got to work together, and they got the shooting. That's all it was. Drummond, he's on a 1-year deal. They got the shooting. They replaced Jared Allen. They got the shooting next to Ben Simmons. James Harden won't work in the play. It don't. And they blame it on his condition. This probably is the conditioning too. He not committed. Ben Good and Nets, they don't need Ben shooting, only defending and passing. Yup, and playing and cutting and posting up. That's how you got to do it. You got to have him cutting on the baseline. You got to have him in the pick and roll. Not only as the roller. You got to have him as the the picker too, and that also clears some things up. Said, damn, he said all that step back traveling ish won't work when the good defender that's why Kawhi constantly was shutting him down. Shit, when Kawhi went out, they were still shutting him down. You know, so yeah, you can't play one. Kobe told him before he passed, you can't play 1-on-5. Move James off the ball. He don't want to do that. He probably can't do that. His conditioning trash. I told y'all where he go after they get eliminated. He go straight to the titty bar, straight to the liquor store. And that's the only team that can beat the Bucks. Yeah, who all out there? Miami got their number. Yeah, my healthy Miami. They ain't never healthy though. Don't sleep on the Cavaliers neither. The Cavaliers they built to beat the Bucks. If you look at the Cavaliers, they built to beat the Bucks. And people say, what do you mean about the Cavaliers being built to beat the Bucks? They built to beat the Bucks because they have an assortment of versatile bigs. Mobley can play the 3, 4, 5, especially when he gets stronger. He'll be able to play the 5. You know, Jared Allen be able to anchor the middle. They athletic enough with those two to get on the perimeter, and they athletic enough and they shot blocking enough good enough to erase stuff from the perimeter. So if they get beat on the perimeter, they're athletic enough to be ranged on the perimeter. They get beat. Mobley can come help side, or Allen can come, you know, and what you call it, he can come and recover and block your shot. They built to be Giannis. Them giving Giannis problems in the regular season, that's not going to be the anomaly moving forward. That's going to be the trend. And then you come in with Kevin Love, who give you a different look. He can rebound. He can stretch the floor out. Lauri Markkanen can stretch the floor out. So they have an assortment of bigs. They can throw Jared Allen, Mobley at the 3, Markkanen at the 4. They can do Markkanen at the 4, other than Mobley at the 3 or the 4. Kevin Love. They have an assortment of interior play and athletic interior guys to get out there and cause Giannis trouble. They range. And then you got Garland out there who putting on a circus show. He break you down. Then you got, Mobley who can play 3, he can guard some 2s, he can guard some 1s, he can guard some 4s, he can guard some 5s. So, that was a blessing they ended up with Mobley. Very rangy cat. So Cleveland is building to beat Milwaukee and building to defeat Giannis. And you just look and say, well, Karis LeVert, if he healthy, another rangy, long guy that you could play 1, 2, 3 in small situations for. They're long, they're fast, they're versatile. And now you got a guy that can get you a bucket. You need a bucket in Karis LeVert. And other than Darius Garland, that the Bucks gonna be a problem for the Cavs gonna be a problem if everything go right. He said the Nets only good 10, so I think the Cavaliers can beat them too. He said Steve Nash can't coach. I don't even be watching Brooklyn. Nobody coach no more. How many players you see come down? They get the ball, they call a play. Everybody coming down, spreading the floor, pick and roll, going 1-on-5. There ain't too many teams calling plays. Chris Paul, a point guard, he gonna get them in set. That's why the Phoenix so dangerous. Chris Paul making the game easier for Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton should be out here getting 20 and 10. They traded Jalen Smith to the Pacers too. Hornets got Montrezl Harrell. Alex, that don't make no difference, bro. He'll get him an attitude enforcer type of guy. Bagley, when given playing time, can play, bro. He on Detroit. It is what it is, man. To me, like I said, we need athletic, rangy, big fellas. And Bagley don't fit the bill. Bagley is a dinosaur. He's what the league used to be. Same thing with DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, I heard he got traded to the Jalen Smith from the Suns, traded to Pacers. Corey Joseph got to go. Corey Joseph's solid, bro. I don't mad at him. Mobley, a baller, bro. I understand the K pick too, but damn, Mobley would be good for the Pistons. K better. Because this game is a ball handler dominant. Maybe Brooklyn could trade for Earl Spence. There you go. Somebody talking about that mook. But I mean, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see exactly where the chips may fall at. But I like it for Brooklyn, and for Philadelphia, it was just what they say, when you go into corporate America, ain't what you know, it's who you know. And James Harden wanted to go where Daryl Morey was at. So I think that's important. And Brooklyn understood they had the leverage. Even though the media wanted to make you think that Brooklyn didn't have the leverage, Brooklyn had the leverage. You say, well, why do Brooklyn have the leverage? Because Philadelphia needed for a trade for James Harden. They needed to trade for him. Because without a trade, they don't have a cap. They have to create the cap, and it's too hard to create the space with Harris and Ben Simmons contracts. It's too hard. Harden just don't have no ambition. He want the money. I think he hated New York taxes too. Well, yeah, that might be what it is. You know, he want to pop bottles and chill with models and stuff. He don't care about winning. Like I said, these dudes need to be apologizing to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant took them jokers to the championship. Think about that for him. Took them to the championship. So, man, it is what it is, man. Shout out to Brooklyn. And, you know, outside of what happened with Kyrie, I'm surprised they ain't played, try to play some home games in Jersey. But we know the Barclays, the owner who owned the Nets, he owned the Barclays Centers, and that's a counterproductive deal. So, but he said James Harden going to 300 pounds when he retired. It is what it is. He just going to be messing with women and popping bottles. And like I said, he didn't come into this season dedicated. He didn't come add nothing to his game. He didn't come in condition. You know, he didn't do a lot of things. He didn't do a lot of things, bro. So he didn't do a lot of things, bro. So that's on him. He said, I see why KD left OKC, Westbrook, and Harden trade. Yeah, people can see it now. People thrashed that man for leaving. They trashed him for leaving. But, you know, now we can see why he actually left, man. But let me get out of here, man. Just a quick stream while I'm on the road, man. Appreciate y'all, man. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have a business question, inquiry, response, or video request, check the NBA Talk. I guess NBA 1-on-1 because it's technically a live stream. Check me out there for more NBA live stream, NBA Talk for more video format. Check me out on Twitch, Goodfella_TV313, the link going through the chat. Check me on Spotify, Anchor at Goodfella TV Podcast. Want to financially support the show? Cash App, $CJ Good313, Venmo, CJ Good313, PayPal link in the description. All that's in the description. Appreciate y'all. One love.